Okay, round two. Let's fight. So, I was trying to show you something, and because I was recording on the same computer I was running the virtual machines and whatnot, and it doesn't seem to like my microphone, everything done and crashed. So let's see, let's get back to where we were. So we were at the Microsoft Evaluation Center because we were about to download something really quick, right? So Windows 2022 evaluation. We were going in here, and we were talking. Oh, I just went to the wrong website. One sec. Make sure you know what you're clicking on. I'm gonna keep coughing my head off here. All right, I'm not gonna admit that I just switched over to streaming from my Mac. That never happened. Never ever happened. We are not Macing tonight. All right, so I want to get this ISO because we're gonna do this the real way. We're gonna create a parent image. So I'm gonna click here and click continue. And here I want you guys to actually put your real information. This time, at least for your screenshot. When you submit it, you don't have to. But I want it for your screenshot. You don't have to put your real phone number, though. And what I was trying to show you guys was something else. This is kind of cool. So let me get this downloading right here. Make sure you pick English and then download. So while that's downloading, it should be fairly fast. You can see up here, it's coming in at way fast, over 100 megabytes a second. 200 megabytes a second. So now that I'm kind of using a game capture card, let me flip this down here. So a cool thing, before I so rudely got frozen last time, let it go, let it go. I can go to my downloads or my documents. Where did I put that? I put it in my documents. So if I wanted, I could just take this, open this a little bit bigger. Well, let me get to where I don't want to have that like that. All right, there we go. Snap it to the side. Now I can always make my view so my view actually resizes to the VM or scale a display. But now it's itty bitty. And I can take this and I can drag this over here, right? Look at this. I just copied that from my Linux operating system into my virtual machine, onto my desktop in my virtual machine. So I could download my ISO from here and drop it over here. But wait, there's more. Can we go the other direction? Let's find out. I don't actually know the answer to this. I'd like to know the answer to this. Let me take this to full screen again. There we go. We'll go to downloads, and we're going to wait for that to finish downloading. So I was actually trying to put OBS and everything in here, and it was actually working really good. So I'm going to take that and delete it. Now I can delete that too. Alright, cool. So we'll wait for our download to finish. It says we got 12 minutes, but it's not going to take no 12 minutes. Let me minimize that a little bit. So something else we can do is we can actually see our stuff on the network. If I click on network over here, and I do shared folders, I can double click on this. Let me make this big. So up here it says SMB. This is where we type where we're trying to go. So if I said Tech House 1, which is where we store a lot of stuff, and hit enter, I'm now on Tech House 1. It should ask you for your credentials, your first initial last name at techhouse.local, and then your password. But here we can actually put stuff and get to our share drives. So I'm probably going to drop that ISO right here, guys. So, and then actually your guys' desktop stuff, I believe, is right here. So if you find your name in here, this is your desktop to your actual profile right here. So that's a way we can get to that stuff and actually get stuff out of there also. So it's almost done. I'm actually going to delete that off the desktop though, because I don't need it. I'm going to take that, right click it, and I was going to say bye bye. Well, it looks like it's mad at me. It looks like it's actually open somewhere, so it might be transferring in the background to there, but we'll close that off in a little bit. Here's the funny thing is I copied that inside itself, so that went inside itself. That's Inception. There it goes. Empty the recycle bin. Yes. Alright, so we don't have a whole lot of storage here, so that's something else we're going to think about. If we're going to do a bunch more operating systems, we probably want to put some more storage on our machine. So while we're waiting for this up here, I'm going to come up to here. I'm going to go to my virtual machine. You see we got this view. We're going to go to view and we're going to go to this details. This is actually where we can perform changes to our virtual machine. Pretty cool, huh? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to looking at the hard drive we have on here. So we got boot options, SATA right there. So that's the SATA disk we got. So I should be able, let me see. I might have to turn it off to add something to this. But let's see. Nope, at the bottom right here, add hardware. Add hardware, and I want to add storage. So we got controller, network, input, graphics, sound, apparel, USB host, device, going. First one, storage. How did I miss that? And I'm just going to add 300 to this. We're going to use this to store our virtual machines on. So I'm just going to go 300 gigabytes. And my device type, you guys should be good where you are. So we're just going to say regular disk, good to go. Bus type SATA. SCSI would probably be better. I'm going to pick SCSI. And advanced options here, read only, shareable, serial, cache mode. Could be hypervisor default. We can have other change throughs in here. I'm going to leave everything as default, and I'm just going to hit finish. So that just told me it can't be attached while it's running, but it can attach it after I restart the machine. So once it's done, I will just restart the machine, turn it off, turn it back on, and it should attach it for me. Looks like our stuff is done downloading. You can see right here, it is done. Let's go to the folder. So I have an ISO sitting right here. I'm going to right click this and I'm going to see, can I copy it? All right, I'm going to go copy. Let me drag this, snap this to right. Can I just right click on my desktop? I'm going to go into Dolphin. Let's see, can I paste one file? Nope, that is not that file, is it? Can I take that and drag it out of here? No, I cannot. So it only goes one way, guys. It only goes one way. That'd be nice though, wouldn't it? Nope, same file that I was doing before. Alright, good to know. So now that this is done, I want that storage on here. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. I know I have my ISO. That's the I need it. If you need it, go get it. That's what that one was. So let me just take this. I'm going to shut this down properly really quick. Alright, guest is not running. That's what I want to see here. So let me go back to details. See, now I got my SCSI disk right there, 300 gig. This one now, does this give me more information? We should be okay. I am going to close. Actually, no, I'm just going to go back to console over here. And here's my power button. I'm going to turn it right back on. Might as well go full screen. Log our butts back in here. Alright. So let's create our parent image right now. Looks like SCSI controller is set up and ready to go. That's kind of cool. And it should also be our hard drive is here. So let's go to our disk management and set it up. I don't see it. We'll give it a second. So there's a chance we need to do that vert. Let's come up here. Let's see device manager. Is there anything not showing up properly in here? Ah, right there. Let's see. Can we cheat? Nope. Alright. So what we're going to do is I saw something out here. Let's go virtual machine. Redirect USB device. And we're going to say Spice CD. Is there a Spice CD option in here? I don't think I see it. Maybe we should get that. I don't see one. So let's get it. Let's go get the Spice CD. Alright. So that was the Windows installer there. Let's get the ISO. We want the ISO. honest, I'm not sure exactly which one I need here. I know I can cheat though. That right there. I know that's what it's looking for, so we'll grab that. There we go. I saw it open up in there. No. I think it just, alright. We'll see if we go update. Browse my computer. We're just going to point it to that DVD drive that we just mounted. Right there. We'll see if it'll find it. What does hit next? Nope, it didn't like it. It didn't like it. Alright. I kind of like cheating, but let's go. It might make us go deeper. I might just be looking for the completely wrong thing too. So let's see. You would think it would be that one right there. We've already downloaded that, so why would it not be working? Let's see. Should be working. Let's see. So I think it's that, but we'll find out. Might have been right in the first place, but now we've downloaded it from there. Let's see. What we're looking for is for that device to show. We're hunting it down. We're hunting it down. could be hiding. And AMD 64. That could be where it's hiding right there. Nope. Interesting. Well, let's see this one that I just downloaded. Might be I just probably shouldn't have made it a SCSI controller because I don't know which one it is. Come on, yeah. Come on, yeah. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to mount the ISO I just downloaded after these million that I just open up for me. Let's see. Looks like the same thing. But let's just run the 64-bit one right here. Not the one I wanted. I wanted device manager. But I see something. I see something more in there, so I think we got it. Or did we? No, we just got 2 CDs in there mounted. Alright. Got my hopes up. And if that don't work, I don't know what's gonna work, because it's got to be in here somewhere. It looks like the one I downloaded on the Linux side is the exact same one I just downloaded from the other website from Inside from GitHub. So looks like those are the newest versions. So if they're not on there, then don't know what to tell you. We'll just go in there, delete it, and just make it a regular controller. She's taking some time there. I'd like to know where it's hiding. You'd think it would be right here. So I would have thought I want update drivers, browse my computer, browse. That SCSI one would have also been a good one. So that would have been. Oh, oh, nope, that didn't work either. All right. Interesting. Oh, that's probably why. Waiting for that. All right. Hold it. If nope, nope, nope. Come on. Come on. All right, we're gonna restart it. Let's see if it fixes it. We shouldn't get kicked out of it because this is much better than Hyper-V. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. All right, let's get in there. Please be my friend. Won't you be my friend? It's not my friend. Not my friend. All right. Well, we got solutions for that. Huh, it should have been in there. It should have been in there. Yep, it's a hater. All right, well, let's just fix this right now because I don't want to play with this later. So we'll shut it down. Continue. Do this. We'll review details. We're just gonna remove the scuzzy one. Delete the file. Yep, delete it. Yes, don't ask me again. Goodbye. And then we're just going to add more hardware, storage. We won't do it like that this time. We'll do 300. If my keyboard works, right, 300. What's this? Pick where I'm saving it at. Alright. 300. Create a disk image for the virtual machine. SATA is good. We ain't messing with any of the other ones. SATA. That one is probably a good one to do. But we'll just stick with SATA for now. Alright, we'll just finish that up. Alright, it's made. It's good. We got 300 gig there. Flip her back on. Come on over here. I'm new to this KVM, so we're going to make it do what we want it to do, though. We've all been hurt before from Azure, so let's hopefully this ain't no Azure experience. The whole point of this is just so we can store our virtual machines on that 300 instead of on our C drive, because we don't typically want to save it on our C drive. Let's just make sure there ain't nothing hiding up here in our device manager this time. There shouldn't be. If there is, I'm going to be bald when you guys come in later today. I'll rip all my hair out. You stupid SCSI controller. Yeah, we're not using SCSI controller for this one though, so screw you, you stupid SCSI controller. Screw you. Let's go to disk management. There's our disk. Oh crap, I did MBT. That's not what I wanted. One sec. Convert to GPT. Alright. Alright, there we go. New simple volume, next. Next. We'll call this HI for Hyper-V. Maybe. There it is right there. Next. And then let's just call this HV today. HV for Hyper-V, right? Hyper-V, quick format. Next, finish. There we go. Close that out, go to Tools. I'm going to open up my Hyper-V Manager, or I could just click down here since I saved it right there, right? Alright, let's get something done today. Open this up. So next we're going to create our parent image, because we need to save space anyways. We'll go virtual machine, new virtual machine like usual. It's the exact same thing we did with Windows 11. I don't want to see that anymore. Hit next. I'm going to just name this parent, right? Parent. Next. Generation 2. Next. I'll do 4096. We got lots of RAM. I don't need dynamic memory. I'll hit next. You can have internet. Next. Alright. I'm just going to leave that all default right there. I'm going to hit next. And then I want to install it from a bootable image. And I have that ISO sitting in my downloads, right? That one right there. Not that one, but that one. Hit next. Finish. That won't hurt if I make a couple subtle changes to it. So I'm going to right click on it and go to settings. Let me just make sure. Let me move that processor to 2 just for now. Processor. You can have 2 of those. Nothing else I need to play with. Apply. I'm going to connect to it. Come over here. I'm going to say start. I'm going to click inside of it. And I'm going to hit my space button. So I want to make sure I boot off of that CD. There it is. Right. I missed it though. I missed it even though I was hitting it. Here, I'll Control Alt Delete that. There we go. I'm in. Full screen this. Full screen this one too. This is kind of annoying. There we go. we're going to click our way through our installation. Next, install, agree, blah, blah, blah. You know how this works. We are going to be doing desktop experience data center evaluation. And run it. Send it. So I want you guys to think, what do we need to do next? Do you remember the next steps? We are not setting this up. We are creating a parent image. So think, what is our next process? Think ahead. Start creating a checklist in your head. What do I need to do next? So, did you guys think about what we're doing next after this restarts? What are we doing next? Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Like a circle go round, 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 round. All right, if you're at this spot right here, right now, and you start typing a password, slap yourself. Slap your mom, slap your daddy, because you're wrong. We're making a parent image. Control Shift F3. Comprende? Control Shift F3. Not put in a password, not continue. You're not set it up. We're making a parent image. Alrighty. And just like when we did this on Windows 11, we are now booting into audit mode, where it will automatically log in as an administrator. And this is where we would do updates and create our golden image or our fully updated image. So we wouldn't have to worry about this pulling updates later. But we're trying to keep our stuff as lightweight as possible. So for our purposes, we are not going to update the image at this point. best practices, you would update this image, and then we could build everything off of a fully updated image. But for our purposes, we're going to hit Generalize and make sure this does not say reboot. This says shut down. With that said, we can hit yes on there if we want. We're going to hit OK. Now it's going to repackage it up, get rid of the system identifiable information on here, and allow us to use this to create our DC1 and DC2. That's going to be our 2 domains equal 1. That's coming up next very, very shortly. Carry on. Alright, remember, when this shuts off and kicks us out, don't turn it back on. As a matter of fact, hit that X, right click on it, just right click on it and say delete. Bye bye. Delete. We don't need you. We don't want you. We don't want to accidentally turn you on. Now we're going to use the edit disk again just to cheat and get to where that lives. We're going to your home. We're coming to see you, buddy. I'm going to hit next and I'm going to browse and she be sitting right about there. So from here, I am just going to right click, go to properties, and I'm going to make this read only. Read only and apply. And then OK. That's it. That's all I got to do to that. Close. Close. Good. My parent image is now ready to go. So let's take a look. What else do we need to do? So let's go to Canvas, Cybertext, login, me. Does that work? Did you store my stuff? No, thanks. I don't need to save it. Let's get back in here. Going to the bottom. Going to the bottom. All right, here we go. So you need to go get it. We just did that. Hyper-V say what? We're about to do that. And then checklist to IT by. We're going to do Hyper-V say what? So Hyper-V say what is when we put dynamically the dynamic RAM, and it's going to give you that crazy ass number, right? And I want you to prove you fixed it. So right there, let's zoom in here. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I want to make sure you change that maximum RAM to the same as your startup RAM. We do not want that big crazy number there. That's it. And you can see in my notes right here, when making a new Hyper-V virtual machine with dynamic memory, be sure to change the maximum, I'm supposed to say memory, not member, to match the startup memory. Memory, not member. It's not an amputee. Well, it might be by the time when you're done with it, but hey, Let's see what happens here. So going back on in, view. We're going to say full screen, and we're going to say new virtual machine, virtual machine. We're going to call this one DC1. DC1. Next. Generation 2. Next. What, 2046? What is it? What is it? No. No. Jeez. When we're using dynamic memory this time. Next. Remember, you can't use dynamic memory for doing pass-through. We're going to use the Intel. Next. And we will attach the virtual hard disk later. Attach it later. Don't create a disk right now. We got a parent image and we're making a child. Don't create a virtual hard disk. You should know this by now. You should have been hurt by now. You should need some KY after what happened in Windows 11. So just know, attach a virtual hard disk later. Thank you. Confirm. Finish. Hell, let's do it twice. We'll do another new one. We'll call this one DC2. Virtual machine. DC2. All the same painful information here. Same painful information. So complicated. Very, very, very complicated. Finished. Alright, cool. So now we can go in here and we can go settings. Again, it's cool to give it, let's give it the 2 processors. That seems to help a little bit. We're cool with that, but right here, right there, that's the number we don't want. Mrs. Hyper-V said, what? Yeah, say what? 2048. 2048. Here at this school, our best practice is we're going to match our starter memory with our maximum, so it's not trying to hand out more than we have. We have 32 gig, but we don't have that number. So if you've done that and that, you should be good to go for those 2 parts, but we don't have a hard drive. Hit apply. We still need to do the child of the parent. So our SCSI controller right here, we're going to say add a new hard disk, and then we're going to click on this new bad boy right here, hit next, we're going to say difference in next. I don't need to go slow because you've done this before, so don't cry to me. You should know what you're doing at this point. Next, that's where it's going to pick the parent image. We say, hey, browse, who's your daddy? There's your daddy, right there, got it. All right, finish. Cool. And apply. Excuse me. And then always make sure that our boot is going to boot off of that hard disk. And then we say apply. Now, if you really want to cheat and get sneaky, we can just come over to this edit disk right here again, right? Edit disk, go next, browse, and now we can see we gonna have our parent image and our DC1. DC1's awesome. I'm going to right-click that, right-click copy. I'm going to paste it. And I'm just going to name this copy of DC1 DC2. All right, cool. See, I cheated. I showed you something different. I cheated. It says can't copy. File not found. It doesn't like me. Why are you doing that? Oh, I'm not trying to open it. That's why. Stupid thing. I'm the stupid one. All right, cool. Then I'm just going to go to DC2. I'm going to right-click on that. I'm going to do the same things I just did. Fix my memory. 2048. Give it another processor. Go just my SCSI controller. I'm going to add a hard drive. But I cheated. I'm just going to go browse. And I'm going to do that copy right there, that DC2 that I did. All right. Hit apply. Firmware. Make that up there. First boot. Okay. Now we should be able just to grab both of those and say start. Now I can connect to that one and I can connect to that one. We can minimize that shortly. Get rid of that. Alright, cool. So we got DC1 and DC2. It's like DC1 is trying to act grumpy right now. What's up, DC1? Why is 2 winning? Why is 2 winning, DC1? There we go. Where's my little thing up here? All right. So let's go back. So that was the screenshot right there. You made the change. You take the screenshot, just like the example. All right. What's next? Let's go back. So we got the you need it, go get it. Hyper-V say what? Checklist to IT by. This is the important one. There's a reason why there's nothing here. You need to write down a checklist and submit it based on what you're watching right now in this video. I want you to submit the Word template document, the template, okay? Same one that we've been using forever. I want you to submit it. If you don't have it, just cheat. All right, it's not complicated. Grab it from one of these, okay? You can go to this one. This one has an example on it. Just download the document, put your name on it, put your information in it, and then just save this as a template. That's it. Windows Server Administrator Fundamentals, your name, today's time and date. You need it, go get it, or whatever the name of the assignment you're working on, and then your information. In your case, for that assignment, it's going to be a checklist on what you need to check when you first deploy a Windows server. So, the checklist to IT by, that's the one we're working on. So, let's go back into our crazy place. Yep, that one's working. Just double checking. So DC1 and DC2. I'm not going to be doing anything on DC2 right now, so I don't really need to watch that one. We'll let this one finish up full screen. All right, we're at the out-of-box experience for our server. We're going to hit next, and we're going to put a password. Remember, on a server, you only get to pick the administrator password. You're not picking a username. You're only picking an administrator. On Windows workstations like 11, Windows 10, you can't pick the administrator. It's actually deactivated by default. Server 123 at exclamation point. That's the only one we're ever using unless I tell you otherwise. And we are in. I think it's Control-Alt-Insert. Is that it? No, Control-Alt-End. There we go. Control-Alt-End. That'll get you in. That'll let you do Control-Alt-Delete in a Hyper-V. In Hyper-V. And we are going to start our checklist. I kind of mentioned this when we built our host. First thing you want to see, are we activated? Remember, we need internet to activate. So that's kind of why we also picked the switch to pick that Intel NIC card so we have internet when this thing turns on. So bottom right hand corner would be one of my first giveaways. Am I activated? It may or may not show right now. We're going to wait for that network to pop up. Bop. Yes, network. Yes or no? Yes or no, network. Yes or no. There it is, right there. Yes. Say my name, server. So I'm not seeing my little desktop thing show right here. There it goes, 180. So that's my first cue. Am I activated? Yes. Now, my time. My time's wrong. My time's way wrong. Unfortunately, that time is 2 hours off. It's actually 3:10 a.m. right now as I'm recording this. So we're going to get through this checklist, and then I'm probably going to leave you guys to continue DC2 after this and get it up to the same par. Alright, so I'm going to close this. And I'm going to configure this local server. First thing, we need to be in the right time zone. Slide this over. Product is activated, so that's positive. We're not Pacific Standard Time. We are Central. So change that to Central. There we go. Okay. So 1, 2. Now we got the right time here. Updates. Do we want updates? Yes or no? You know what? Let's do them. Let's do them. Why not? Why not? Check for updates. Remember, if we don't want to do updates, we can pause them. And then we can go and make this a metered connection. There really shouldn't be a whole lot of updates in the first place, so I'm not going to be too worried because we just downloaded a clean image when we made this. It is best practices when you do your installation, make sure everything's up to date before you start setting it up. We could have done this when we created our golden image, but it's not going to hurt right now. I mean, it's going fast, and we're not doing this in Azure, and we're not doing a million people on one server, so we should be good to go. We shouldn't have to worry about space too much. You guys have a 1 terabyte hard drive split into 2, so you have about 500 gigs per. So, while that's doing its updates, remember, so on the checklist, am I activated? Is my time right? Time zone? Updates. Am I doing what I want to do? Do I want to stop them? Do I want them to do updates? Take care of your updates. What do you need to do to them at this point? I'm going to close this for now. I'm going to hit refresh right here. I'm going to slide over. Now, IP. Do we need an IP address? Do we need static IP? We need to know what's supposed to go here. We are going to be setting this up as a domain controller. That's why we're naming it DC1. Because it's going to be a domain controller, we are required to have a static IP address. To be kind and to be nice to you guys, we will be using just a Class A IP address. Class A is our 10s. Alright? So we're going to go to our Ethernet adapter by clicking on it. We're going to go to Properties, and we're going to go to our IPv4. Here, we're going to go to use the following IP address, and we're just going to say, well, first we're going to need to hit our freaking number lock, and we're going to do 10.0.0.1. We will save this 0 octet range right here, these double eyes, snake eyes, for servers. It will automatically fill in our subnet mask when we click on it, and our gateway will be ourself, 10.0.0.1. We're going to do ourself right there. Also, for our primary DNS, since this is going to be our DC1, we will be our primary DNS for ourself. So we're going to use local loopback, though. We could do 10.0.0.1. If you ask Yvonne, he would have you do that. But you might find if you do that and this computer restarts after we set up domain controllers on here, it's going to put local loopback 127.0.0.1. Later, DC2, we're going to change that to .2 for its octet on DC2. So just to plan ahead, we're going to do 10.0.0.2. So if this one goes down, there's also a DNS running on DC2. With all this said, none of these actually exist yet, so don't do verify because it's not going to be able to validate these DNSs because they don't exist yet. We're going to hit OK, and then okay, we now have static IP addresses. It's going to identify as something. It doesn't know what it's going to identify as, so it's going to say unidentified. It's okay. I feel the same way. I don't know which one to use these days, Mr. Computer. We'll figure it out. It's okay. Close that. We've done that. So we've picked our identity on the network. That's who am I on the network. That's my ID. Now we always want to have remote desktop turned on so we can remotely manage these. So we will say allow, okay, and just hit apply and okay. Never okay then apply because sometimes okay doesn't apply. Refresh that. Make sure it took. It's going to take it. It's going to take it real good. Now we're going to go up to remote management. Remember, it says enable by default, but sometimes that checkbox is not checked, even though it says enable. Just double check it. Then we are going to come up here and we are going to name our computer. We're keeping this simple, stupid. We're just going to name it DC1. Right here says computer description. This does not say computer name. This says computer name. This says computer description. And right here says to rename this computer. Hint, to rename this computer or change its domain or work group, click change. Right there. Not here. Here. Not here. Here. Not here. Got it? All right. We are going to name this computer, guess what? DC1. We're keeping it simple, stupid. DC1. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to slap me with a, well, you must restart, and it's not okay. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm just going to close for now. I'm not going to restart now. I'm going to say restart later because I want to just double check and make sure these updates are done. So I'm just going to click back here. It's going to bring me to the update page. And it's going to say yay or nay. Updates are available. It's at 50%. We might be okay. We might be. Well, let's wait for this 75% to end. We might be able just to go over here, right click on here, shut down. It's not saying update and then restart. So let's just let that finish. We don't want to waste more time than we have to. Restart time. We're back. Let's do it. All right. I did it. I did Control Delete. I want Control Alt End. We'll be an Enderman. All right. Here we go again. All right. So, remember, that checklist was, hey, yeah, that's all done. Our time should be right now. I should probably try to get some sleep. We're not going to have internet now because we just put ourselves on a network, no internet, and we're unidentified. We are a UIN. Yep, UIN. UIN right there. Unidentified network. All right. We'll identify shortly as a domain. And let's just double check here. Let me take this down. All right. And I can go. Come on. Get. All right. All right. Domania 2. We never actually did Domania because we didn't have a domain to join. And we had nothing but problems before we got these new computers. Knock on wood. Stay working, computers. So Domania 2 is actually making that domain. So we're thinking Domania 1 when we do the DC2. So if we come in here, what we're going to do is we're creating a domain. So that's our next fun stuff. Yeah. So when you've done all of what I'm about to show you how to do, this screenshot proves you did everything. If you take in here, get really, really close. Look right here. It says amdomain.local. amdomain.local. That's the domain. You created it. So if you did everything correctly, yay! Again, this was from different instructions. Your instructions better be based on this video. All right, let's go break something. I'm in. Okay, first off, you guys remember how to make this resize? I can't resize. Why can't I? Well, because I want enhanced view, but it's not giving me my enhanced session yet. Rude. Very rude. All right. So we'll just go a regular full screen and then a regular full screen right here because it doesn't play nice with me. All right. So we've already configured the server, everything we need here. Keeping it simple because we're not all on the same network, so we don't have to do fancy naming schemes. We're using the double zeros, 10.0.0.1, or the second and third octet are double zeros. And 1 is DC1 and 2 is going to be DC2. Everything is good to go right here. I'm happy, joys. Let's make this a domain controller. How do you make this domain controller? Huh? I'm glad you had an answer. You probably didn't. You're just staring at the screen, pretending like I'm just going to give you the answer. I'm not going to give you the answer. I can't do it. I don't know how to do this. You tell me how to do it. Don't watch what I'm doing. Don't watch me do this. All right. I'll do it because you asked nicely. Because you asked nice. So we're going to set the server role of an Active Directory Domain Services. Not certificate, not federation, not lightweight. We want Active Directory Domain Services or a domain server or Active ADDS. Because you're ADD, right? Yes. Got it. We're going to add the features and then we're going to hit next. Restart if needed. It's not going to need to restart, just so you guys know. And then I'm going to hit install. This is only install on the role. You have not set up the role. So it's basically just like copying what you need, and then we're going to go in there and set it up. You should have done this, and you certify already. This should not be the first time you're seeing this. All right, looks like we're just about done here. So you'll see right here it says promote this server to a domain controller. You can click on here because we need to promote it now. Oh, that was quick. If you miss it, you can also hit this flag right here, and that'll take you to the same spot. So since we're creating a brand new domain, we have nothing here. So we can't say add a domain controller to an existing domain. It doesn't exist. We can't say add a new domain to an existing forest because we haven't created a forest yet. There ain't no trees. We can't see the forest for the trees. We got to grow the trees first. So we're going to add a new forest. And this is where we're going to name it. And we're just going to name it domain. Just call it domain for now. Domain. Now you can do .land. You can do .local. Just don't do .com because you don't own it. I'm going to do .land. I like .land. I'm feeling .land today. So I'm going to hit next. It's going to check to see if it's available. Of course it is. We're on our own private network. All right. And even though we're doing server 2022, the forest functional level and the maximum domain functional level is only 2016. All of these versions, 2016, 2019, 2022, they're all based on Windows 10. And there have been no changes to how the Active Directory structure has been since the 2016 version. So far, there are no other versions. We can go back, so if we're trying to make this match up with 2008, 2008 R2, or A8.1. No, actually, this is A8.1. This would be like 7 in Vista right here. But we'll keep it at 2016. Same with here, 2016. This is going to be our domain functional level because we're creating the domain on our own as a new forest. We will talk about read-only domain controllers later. Read-only domain controllers only sync up with another domain, but they can't actually sync up backwards. So it's a one-direction handshake. They can't sync up both directions. Here we're going to pick our password for our directory service restore mode. This is how we pretty much log into an Active Directory safe mode and try to fix it. So you don't ever want to lose this. We're going to use the same one we always use because that's what we do here. That's server 123 at exclamation point, capital S, always. We're going to hit next. So this is just an exclamation point. It doesn't mean there's something wrong. This will always be here every time. It's just telling you, hey, I don't have a DNS server. I'm going to make one. It is required. So, and you can't click this. You can't click this. So like, what do I do here? Well, you can't click it. You just hit next. Now the net BIOS name is what you would type to get to this domain / your login name. This is a maximum of 15 characters. It can't be any bigger. So if you have like a big domain like I have, like blocksofknowledge.com, I just put BOK right here. So for here, it automatically picked domain since we named it domain, and that's cool. We're just gonna hit next. Here are the default location where it stores the database, the log files, and the syst volume folder. Think of the syst volume kind of like the operating system of Active Directory. What you really need to know is just the NTDS is where your database and logs are stored, and syst volume has its own volume folder, syst vol, in the Windows folder. NTDS is pretty much legacy. It used to be Windows NT Domain Services, so that's where the NTDS name comes from, as legacy name and schemes that have never updated. So we're going to hit next, and we're just going to leave those. That's just so you know where those are. If you see those on a test, 2 of these live in NTDS, and only one of them is named after itself. So after all that, this says, hey, how you doing? This is everything you picked. If you want to create a script later, here's a script that it's about to type to do everything. This is just commented out. This just tells you, hey, this is what it is, and this is what it's typing in PowerShell to make everything work. You can copy that, put that into a notepad if you want, and play with it later when you have your free time. But for us, we're going to hit next. This is going to verify and make sure there ain't nothing wrong. Sometimes it will say there's a DNS issue here. You're better off just starting all over again because that means something corrupted in the installation or in the image of Windows, and it's probably going to take you less time to do this all over again than try to troubleshoot it. At this point, since you've done nothing, you don't want to give yourself any headaches later if you can prevent them. You will find out, just like in Windows 11, stuff doesn't work how it's supposed to. And all is good, green. Remember, exclamation points are did you know, not there's a problem. Everything's good to go. We're going to say install. Feel free to read that if you want. Take notes. It says the same thing every time right there, unless there's something wrong. At this point, when it's done, it will restart. So I will wait for this to restart, and I will get back to you guys. All right. We are now officially a domain controller. We are the first step to being our own man and woman and whatever else you like to say, I guess. Yeah. All right. Control Alt End. Let's get in there. So see, it says domain / administrator. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like McDonald's. All right. I think I fat fingered it. I did. I fat fingered that. All right. We're in. All righty. So as this is coming on, remember our screenshot. So right about here is our screenshot. DC1 and our work group should flip over to say domain and domain.lan. And here's our IP address and everything. This is proof right here, this area right here, that you did what I said. Your screenshots, remember, your screenshots need to be the full screen so I can see how it says. You just see it, it says AM, SLS, my initials. That way I know it's your stuff, your DC1, and that's how I know you turned in the right thing. So, with that said, I'm done with DC1 for now. Goodbye, DC1. Goodbye. I'm just going to X out of it. Bye. So what's next? What's next after that? Besides me needing to get some sleep. Let's take a look. So we've done Hyper-V say what? Checklist IP IT by switch it up dosey do. Ooh. All right. So we just did that one. Who am I? Yeah, switch it up. Could be right there. All right. So on our DC1, let's go to our DC1 really quick. We need to go over something very, very, very important on here. I'll go back into here. So we're going to create a virtual switch. Now we've done, this one's on a external switch. These guys are both on an external switch right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Virtual Switch Manager, and we're going to create an internal virtual switch. So I'm going to create that. So you can just highlight just right there and type internal. What this allows, we have external, which lets us see the network outside like a regular computer. We have internal, which lets our host computer and these virtual machines talk with each other, but no one else. And then private, where only the machines connected to the private, only the virtual machines on the private network can talk to each other. Kind of like doing a backbone. So we're going to put this on internal and hit apply. So we have an internal one created while we're here. We can also create a private one if we want while we're here. So we can go to new, we can create a private one and hit create a virtual switch. And then up here, we just change the new to private, right? And then apply. So if you ever need to change your network card, never, ever, ever do it when these machines are running. If there's any uptime here, do not change them. So I'm going to go into DC1 really quick, and I'm going to shut it down properly. Come up here. I'm going to go up the file, and I'm going to go, not the settings. Never mind. I'm lying. I'm joking. We're going to shut down. We're going to say shut down. We're going to tell it, hey, this is planned. I planned on this. Other planned. Yeah, continue. And we're going to put this guy on an internal network. So keep it off. We can go up the settings if we want. And I'm going to change its network adapter from the Intel to the internal. Never, ever, ever do this when the machine's running. I'm going to hit apply. And then OK. So now our DC1 is on its own internal network. So I'm going to hit X on this for now. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to set up DC2. I want you to do the checklist to IT by. So we'll do that really quick. And then I want you to install a domain controller to it. We are going to create the second domain controller. The reason why we have DC1, DC2 is because for every domain, you should have 2 domain controllers minimum for redundancy. So I'm going to go in here, full screen this, and let's just get this doing its little update stuff really quick. Get in here. And remember, the checklist to IT by. Every time you do a clean install, you want to abide by that. It's to protect you from yourself. So what's that sad face for? I'm working on DC2. So we know time is off. We're waiting for it to activate. We're going to go as fast as possible here. All right, we're going to say yes. Do 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 do. Configure this local server. Time zone. Can I get there before? Can I get there before? Haha. Change the time zone. It's activated. Time zone updates. Come over here. We're going to give us its proper IP address. It's thinking hard right now. It's thinking hard. Of course. Every time it turns off. .2 default gateway is going to be the other computer. 10.0.0.1. Let's be DC1. Our DNS preferred is going to be DC1. And then we will be our alternate DNS, 127.0.0.1. We'll say OK, OK. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that right now. I shouldn't do that right now. Let's wait a second here, because it's downloading updates right now. So that would not be good. Let's not do that right now. Okay, let's go close. There we go. We'll do the other stuff while it's doing its updates. I probably made it angry. Let's see. Yeah, she's okay. She's okay. All right. Come up here. We make sure these are turned on. On. Okay. Apply. Okay. Double check that one. Yes, it's checked. Okay. Cancel out of that. We'll call this one DC2. Change. We will wait till restart because we're going to let those updates finish. Let's take a look at our future stuff here. Future me problems. We just did switch it up do-si-do. Who am I? Alright, we'll do who am I, mic check, and then 2 domains equal 1. That works. Actually, you can be. You say March 30th. No, you're good. Why are you all the way up here? You might be okay right there. Alright. Yeah. So you guys see down here, I have disks encountered critical I/O error. That means I ran out of storage. So let's take a look at this. Paused, critical. Let's take a look here. So as you recall, I was going to move everything over to this one, and I didn't do that. So because I didn't do it, I ran out of space right here. So let me show you guys how to fix that really quick. I'm going to move my DC1. Next, move the virtual machine and optionally its storage to another computer running Hyper-V, or move the virtual machine storage. Move only the virtual machine storage to another location, either on this server or shared storage. Yeah, on this server. We're going to say that. We're going to say next. We're going to say move only the virtual machine's data to a different, move all of it. We're going to move it all. Next, browse, and I'm just going to slap this on that HV one. So right there, select the folder. And then I'm just going to say next and finish. So once that one's done, I will turn this one back on and I will move it over also. You can see it's 57, 77, 86, 91. It doesn't take too long to move it over. And it's still running. So that one, so I should be able to unpause this one now. I should be able to come up here and hit play again. And he's back up and running. I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to click on him. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to move you too. So let's move it. Next, move the virtual machine. Even though I just did it, move the machine storage. Move all of it. And now I'm moving that one over also. Meanwhile, I should be able to go inside of it. Let's see what's going on here with this stuff. This is 100% downloaded. Probably still not going to let me do this. Let's see. Maybe it is. Give that a second. Let's see where we are on our hitting here. Looks like it's 100% over there now. So let's take a look at how much storage we have on our host. So yeah, there's still not a whole lot free right there. So you see DC1 and DC2 right there. Now we didn't move over the parent image. That's just going to live there on the other hard drive. So You see we freed up that much space. We're no longer in the red. So we're good to go there. What just happened? Where'd you go, buddy? Come back. We friends. We friends. Come on. Update and restart. That's the one I was looking for. Other. Planned. There we go. Excuse me. So for here, well, from here, I want you to add the role Active Directory domain services to this, and to add this to an existing domain as a secondary domain controller. I want to see if you can figure this out. So at this point, once this comes back on, we will be done with this, and we'll see how you can get. So now that we have set up almost everything you need to do here, what do you need to do to get this to be able to become the secondary domain controller to an existing domain? Not a new domain to an existing domain, another domain controller to an existing domain. That is your task. That is what you have to try to figure out. Good luck.